Hello, friends. I'm Heidi with Onigo Stamping, and welcome to my craft corner. We are on night 4, Friday night of Celebrate the New Year, where I am showcasing celebration items that are going to be available starting next week, Thursday, on the 5th of January. And these are all items that you're going to be able to get free with qualifying purchases. So it is the most exciting time of the year, is celebration, and I'm really excited about it. So I decided, let's go live a whole bunch of times and show you all the different things in the mini, celebration brochure. So tonight I'm going to be sharing the Dainty Flowers pattern paper, the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. And it's really pretty and it has matching stamps. So I'm excited to share it with you. Hello, Patty from Kansas. If you are here and watching me live, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have big New Year's Eve plans for tomorrow night. And if you're watching the replay, a special welcome to you too. Let me know that you watched the replay. I love to know that you guys come back later and watch the replay too. Hello, Kristen and Vicki and Mom. Oh my goodness, all my friends are here. I'm so excited. Let me go ahead and flip the camera around so you can see my desk. All right, here is the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. Hello from Wisconsin. Now it is 12 by 12 and Kimberly from Virginia. It is 12 by 12, but once again, I cut it down to 6 by 6 so you could see it a little bit better. But one piece, I left this piece 4 by 12. The reason I did that is I want to show you there's 3 of these in here, and there's 6 of these oval frames, and then there's this design that goes down the middle on this one. So these are going to be really fun to cut apart and just kind of use as the ovals. So, and then on the other side, you have these really fun kind of watercolor backgrounds. So let me show you the rest of these patterns. Hello, Kathy. So we have some really fun floral patterns. I flipped some of these around. So there we go. Oh, this one is really fun. It's just a big, bold flower. And one of the other sample cards that I have to share with you is going to use this pattern right there. So a whole bunch of just floral patterns on one side. And then, of course, on the other side, you get some patterns in different colors, and you get a couple of these watercolor backgrounds, and then some pretty flowers. Now, I should have thought ahead of time, and I should have just cut things out of this watercolor background paper. It would have been perfect for the technique that I'm going to do. But instead, I'm going to show you a fun, easy watercolor technique tonight. And then, of course, this paper coordinates with the Dainty Delight stamp set, which is a really cute stamp set, and the coordinating dies, the Dainty Delight dies. So these are the dies. They have some open dies that cut out these stamped images. And then what I'm going to use tonight is they have a bunch of fun dies that just cut out pieces that you can kind of build flowers with. So I'm going to pull these out. I need to get some more magnetic sheets for inside for my dies. I don't like them all loose like this. It kind of makes me nervous. I'm worried I'm going to lose some, but so I just pulled a bunch of those out. So more people are joining us. That's so much fun. All right, I'm going to set the stamp set aside, and I'm going to grab some Fluid 100 watercolor paper because we're going to do a really, really easy watercolor technique with this. I have an aqua painter or a water painter with me. I'm going to pull out some ink pads. I'm going to grab some Mossy Meadow and some rich raspberry and some old olive, some crushed curry, some crumb cake, and some early espresso. All right, so I got a whole bunch of different colors here. Let's just set those out. And then I need, y'all, I'm getting out my gross, nasty baby receiving blanket that I use to clean off my brushes. So what I want to do is I have one of the water painters, and it's still kind of red from earlier, so I'm just going to squeeze out some water. And you guys can't see this, but this is coming out red. So because I don't want it to suck the water back up to be red, I push it out, and then I just kind of blot it on my little receiving blanket here. You could also just use a towel or something, and that just kind of helps get out some of that red. So now, oh, look, it's still kind of red, but that's okay. It's mostly gone. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to kind of puddle some water on here. All right, and let's go ahead and we'll start with the rich raspberry since it already wants to be red. I'm gonna go ahead and just open up my rich raspberry, and then I'm gonna squeeze a clear block into it. And I'm gonna pick up some of that, and then we're just gonna add it to this water. Now, what happens with watercolor is that it's gonna go wherever there's water, and wherever there's not water, it's gonna stop, okay? And we wanna kind of get this blotchy look, right? We don't want it to be perfectly solid. We wanna get a variation of colors in it, because that's gonna kind of give our die cut pieces a really pretty look. So I'm just coming in and adding some more dark, and I think that's pretty good. I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then again, I'm gonna take this horrible, nasty blanket. I should run it through the washing machine. It's not gonna come clean, but I'm gonna drip water on here, and then I just wrap it around and squeeze that out. So just pushing out some water and then holding that and getting the water so it doesn't go back up into the barrel of my water painter. I'm trying to get out as much of that red as I can. That's pretty good. All right. So now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to puddle up another little area. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my crumb cake. Hello, Nell. I'm going to grab my crumb cake. I'm going to get just a little bit of crumb cake on another quarter of my block. And I'm going to do the same thing with the early espresso. Let's grab some of that. So I got the crumb cake on one corner. I'm going to go ahead and put the early espresso on the other corner. I'm going to put those ink pads away because we're going to be done with those. And I'm going to pick up, I'm going to start with some crumb cake. And again, just adding it in here to that water. And then we're going to grab some early espresso. And that's just going to kind of swirl in there. And I don't want to get a solid color. I'm just kind of making this dirty puddle on here, right? So that's pretty good. We'll just leave that like that. And again, I'm going to come in with my towel here and just push out some water and squeeze it. And there we go. And we'll create another puddle. Now this puddle, I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. Let's make this one pretty big. And I'm just making sure that that water area doesn't touch from one to the other, because if I did that, they would combine the colors and it would not be pretty. All right, so I'm going to pick up some old olive on one side, and I'm going to pick up some mossy meadow on the other side of this clear block. So just getting two greens. Oops. Actually, that one we're going to need. All right, I'm going to pick up the old olive first. And again, just coloring this in. Might have to add a little more water to it, but just kind of laying down a green base coat in my muddy puddle. Let's get some over here too. And then I'm going to come in with the mossy meadow and we're going to add that. So we get some nice variation on green. I just kind of run my tip through there, and it's going to give us a real kind of fun look. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just leave that like that. We'll see what happens. So we got to do one more color. So I'm going to come in and just push out some water and wipe this off again. Just like that. All right. So our last color that we need is we need a little bit of crushed curry. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some crushed curry on this block, which is going to give us a nice pretty yellow color. So let's hope we got most of the green out of here. Ooh, a little bit of green. It'll be okay, I think. So I'm going to make us a nice little area here. I'm going to pick up some crushed curry and add that in there. Just kind of give that all over. Again, trying to create a variation in color. And let's see. Yellow's hard because it's like, I really want some really deep yellow in there. All right. There we go. So there's our yellow area. I'm just going to clean out my brush a little bit just so that it's not dirty next time I use it. And now I want to make sure I get these dry because we're going to go ahead and we're going to die cut from these. So I want them to be dry. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat tool and I'm just going to heat these. It's going to get loud for just a minute. Push the water around some more. But you can see it staying right in the water area and not going out. Go. Oops. This probably doesn't show up on the camera very well, but it is definitely drying. Woo! The brown is super cuddly. Getting it right off the paper. Kind of turned purple under there. I'm sure you guys can't hear me. Yep, I could add a little bit more color to it if I wanted to. And you could also let these dry naturally. I'm just speeding up the effect. I think I got a lot of water on this time. So I just need to heat this just a little bit more. I don't know how much you guys can hear me as I'm doing this. This is taking me a little bit. Oh, I kind of singed my paper down there. This is taking longer. I must have gotten a lot more water on here. It's like watching paint dry. So, you could. I think the water might still spread. And actually, I want the color to spread. I like the way that it looks, how it all kind of smooshes together. So that is kind of part of it, is I like getting these different areas where it has kind of given me drops. I'm not real happy with this brown. I'm going to come in. We're going to try just to add a little bit more. See, if I don't have enough water, then it gives it a real dry look to it, which isn't really what I want either. So I'm just trying to add a little bit without making it too wet so we can get it kind of more brown. It kind of turned purpley. But there we go. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to trim out these color areas. I singed that. Like I said, I probably got this much wetter than I did earlier today, because when I did this earlier today, it dried a lot faster with my heat tool. So I think I just got extra water on it. That's okay. So I'm just kind of cutting these out just a little bit. And what we're going to do is I'm going to grab some adhesive sheets. Hello from Perth, Australia. Wow. All right, so I'm going to grab some adhesive sheets, which if you have seen me before, you know that me and adhesive sheets are not always the best of friends. We're going to see how this goes. All right. But I always get sticky on me. So now earlier today, I did not use adhesive sheets to do this. And let me tell you, that was a mistake. I used glue and it was kind of messy. Even though I was using the fine tip glue pen, It was not the best. So we're going to, hopefully this adhesive sheet is going to work better. All right. So there we go. There is one. Hello to Anne in Arizona. Ugh, the sticky gets on my fingers. Sticky, sticky. All right. Let's just cut this down. There we go. Perfect. So there's our green, and now we'll do the pink and the brown as well. Let's just start by putting this one down here. And then let's see, how much do we need? I'm just kind of eyeballing this and cutting some strips about the length that I think is going to work. I'm sure there is a much more precise way to do this. This is what I'm doing tonight. I wish with these adhesive sheets, I wish that it stayed on, like it stayed on the bigger piece instead of the small piece. I don't know. Anyway. So there we go. I just added some adhesive sheets to the back of these. Oh, sticky. There's so much sticky. What do you guys think? Do you like sticky? Does sticky drive you crazy like it drives me crazy? Yes, and you want to hear a funny story. This is like completely not stamping related. Not stamping related at all. But I don't like sticky. So when my kids were little, they used to eat frozen waffles, still frozen, not heated, not toasted. No, no, no. Frozen waffles from the freezer and with no syrup. They didn't know what syrup was until they were like at least, I don't know, 5, maybe, because no, just was not dealing with that. All right. I'm just kind of layering these up just a little bit, trying to get my kind of Queen Anne's lace to be white on the top and green on the bottom. And so I'm just laying all my dies in here. I'm going to go ahead and grab some washi. We're going to cut a bunch of pieces at once. I'm going to have to run these through just a couple times. Tonight's card's a little in depth. We're doing something fancy. All right, there we go. And I'm going to grab and make some little, that doesn't look like it needed. All right, we're going to make some leaves. So I got those all set up on my die cutting plate. Put another plate on top. And things just fell out. That's what I get for not having my die cut machine already out here. All right. Just lift this up and fix it. I should have taped those down. Come on. All right. So put that top plate back on. We'll go ahead and run this through. Watch it come through the other side. All right. So we have a couple flowers. Show you those. And maybe we'll just leave them in there. I think they're going to peel out when that tape. We'll take it off all at the same time. Right. Here is a stem. Here is my little piece of, I think it's Queen Anne's lace. I don't know. Maybe it's something else. You all are much more knowledgeable about flowers and things than I am. I can't keep plants alive for anything. So you guys can tell me. I'm, again, just cutting this because it's going to come off that tape, and I don't want it to come off the tape yet until I'm ready to lay it down. So just leave those on there. So let's cut a couple more flowers. Like that. I'm going to grab the green. Let's go ahead and just trim this up a little bit. Hope it fit better. There we go. And this is going to look so cool. Wait till you see these when they start coming together. Right now, it's kind of like, meh, whatever. But I promise it's going to get nice. It's going to look really cool. All right. Sometimes you can just take your dies and drop them, and the pieces that are stuck inside will pop out. That is not the case right now, though. So I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool and take that out. Set that little leaf aside. We'll do that down there. Grab my other leaf over here. We'll run these through again. I'm not doing more Queen's Anne's lace. I just wanted one of those. So that die fell out again. It does not want to stay in there. I'm gonna have to find it. It fell on me, which means now it is on the floor someplace. Maybe lost forever. Luckily, there's two. All right. Come on, mini machine. Sometimes the mini machine does not like to start. If that is the case, let me show you, see if I can show you what you can do. Fix this little leaf first. We'll put that over there. So you can stagger your plates, which means you're going to have one sticking out further than the other one. And sometimes that will help you get started. Let's do the top one. Let's see if that helps. All right. And you want to make sure those plates are nice and lined up on the sides, because otherwise it will jam in your machine. Might have to switch to my big machine or just take more things out. It worked fine the first time. All right. It's always when you get on camera that things start not working for you. You know what I mean? I hope y'all are still there. I haven't lost y'all. There we go. All right. I'll just roll that through. There we go. And this is going to take me just a few minutes because I got a whole bunch of pieces I got to cut so we can make our little flowers. All right. Where did that stem go? There it is. The stems like to run away. They are super tiny, and they just like to disappear on me. All right. The stems are what we need the most of. So I'm done with the flowers. We're going to go ahead and grab the pink and the brown. I'm going to do some brown centers. And then I want to grab this pink right here. And I think I'm going to grab these flowers too. We'll run this through again. You're still here and feeling for me. Thank you, Robin. All right. Let's see if it'll work better this time. Promise, I just don't have enough hands. Like, I need to hold the top and push and roll all at the same time. It's really nice that this little machine is so lightweight, because it's really great for, you know, just picking up and taking with you places. But sometimes it's just not heavy enough, and you need to like have some weight on the top of it. All right, there's my centers. Here are my pink flowers. We'll just leave those there. And then I just need to cut. Oh, look, I totally tore up my paper there. Got all wet. I just need a couple more stems. So let's just run this through with some stems. Get us a couple more stems. They do go through a lot easier if you only put one die on at a time. Hi, Anne. I'm using the Dainty Delights stamp set and dies. This coordinates with the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper, which is the Sale-A-Bration item. So, and this is just kind of my pre-making to make the card. All right, let's see if that is enough stems for what we end up doing, because I want to move on. I want to get to the good stuff. All right. Let me find the piece I want. So I decided right before I went live that I was going to change which background I use. So I'm going to show you a different one in a few minutes. You guys can tell me which one you like better. All right. And then I have a little piece. So I have a big background. We're going to make a slimline card. So I have the big background, and then I have this little piece. And this little piece is where I'm actually going to build my flowers. So I'm going to start with this floral piece right here, which is this gorgeous, look how pretty that is. Oh, you're loving the watercolor flowers. It's so much fun. I just love the way they turn out. All right. So now the hard part, which is getting the backing off the adhesive sometimes. That one wasn't too bad. So I just laid that top on there to see about where I wanted my stem to go. So that stem's going to go right in there. And then we're going to peel the back off. I don't know if this is lupine or, I don't know, something else. Have I mentioned I know nothing about flowers? I am flora challenged. All right. There's a split. That's okay. And this is just going to come right over here, go on the top there. And then I want that piece of Queen Anne's lace that I made. Oh, you like the flowers? I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Kimberly. All right. And I did the top off on the white portion so that it would kind of look like Queen Anne's lace, maybe, kind of. So I'm going to pull out these little pieces here. Probably should have gotten up further with the green, but whatever. All right, so there's our little bit of white up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and add one of the flowers. Peel this adhesive. This adhesive, it's kind of a pain to work with at first, but it really does make putting these things together so much easier. All right, there's one. I'm going to go ahead and put one over here. And I'm going to put another half one over here. Just like that. Oh. All right, where's the centers? Here's my center. So there's little round centers to go in the center of the full flowers. I can get the back off. I have to get out my take your pick tool. Oh, got it. So these go in the center of the full round centers, or the full flowers. In the center properly. And then there's little like triangular almost ones. Queen Anne's lace is a carrot. It's a carrot. Oh, that's funny. See, I learn things every day. That makes sense. I mean, I could see that. The laciness of it. All right. So these ones go on the little half flowers. Ugh. Sometimes you can take your pick tool and just get under there. So put that in our little black-eyed Susan. And again, I'm just going to kind of push it around with my take your pick tool, get it in place. Let's do one more. I have one more over here. So I told you tonight is really in depth, but I have another card that I'm going to share with you at the end. I'm not going to put it together, but it is super quick and easy with this pattern paper. But of course, I have to choose the hard one to show you. Just using my take your pick tool to kind of get this in place because it's really small and hard to hold on to. There we go. So there's that. Now I should have some more, 1 or 2 more stems maybe. Might have to cut another stem. We'll see. All right, so this one is going in here. I can take my scissors and I'll just snip those off. And let's see if I can use this one. This little half a stem. Come in here. There we go. I probably could use one more, but we'll wing it for tonight. How's that? So now I have some leaves. I'll go ahead and add a few leaves on these flowers. And I know the green kind of really doesn't show up quite on the green. I maybe should have used more, what do I want to say, more mossy meadow in there to help it show up a little bit more. But I don't know. I kind of like the subtleness of it. It really makes the flowers pop off. Okay, come on. Oh, I know why. That's an old one. It doesn't have. Had some spares from earlier. It doesn't have a background on there. Doesn't have the adhesive back on there. Next time you pick it, you can smell the carrot smell. Oh my goodness. I will definitely check that out next time I'm out in the fields. All right, so adding some more leaves on here. And Carol, I'm so glad you made it for the craziness. You're going to just get the fun part here in just a minute when we get this all put together. All right. Trying to get the adhesive back off my, my little, let's see this one. That's why sometimes you just cut extras and it's like some of them come off easier than others. So, all right. There we go. Let's just stop there. What do you think? Oh, you know what? I'm going to just add a couple more pink flowers just to kind of pull the pink down a little bit because we just kind of have one pink. So let's see. Let's just add another pink one there. And we'll add another pinky one down here. There we go. So there is our little flower scene. Isn't it dainty? Very dainty, as the name implies. All right, let me just kind of push. I'm going to push things aside. Later, I will find the die that fell on my floor. All right, so this piece is 1 3/4 by 3 inches. And I'm going to adhere it to a piece of mossy meadow that is 3 inches by 1 7/8. So the top and bottom will line up, and it'll just have a little bit of a border on the side and where I accidentally cut the bottom. So there we go. And then this, we're going to put this on our pattern paper. Oh, not yet. I almost forgot something. Not going to do that yet. I'm going to set it aside. Hold on. Hold on. Hold that thought. Yeah, a little more to do. All right, I'm going to put this on. This is 3 inches by 8 inches. And I'm putting it on a piece of mossy meadow that is 3 1/8 by 8 1/8. But I also want to put a sentiment on here. And I have a fun trick that I'm going to do with the sentiment. So originally, let me show you. Originally, I was going to use this paper, and that's what I did my first sample with. But this one, I changed it to this green one. So you guys are going to tell me at the end which one you like better. But before we do that, I have some basic white, and I'm going to cut a couple of rectangles out of here with the stitched rectangle dies. I'm just going to do this on my big machine because I know these rectangles will fit, but probably not the way I have my paper cut. And sometimes rectangles, big dies are persnickety, shall we say. So to speed things up, I'm just taking these over to my big shop. All right. There's one. But I want it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to cut two. I'll show you. Run this through. All right. So now I have two of these stitched rectangles. These are the biggest in the skinny size. So there's two different sizes of nested dies in the stitched rectangle dies. There's ones that are a little closer to square, and then there's ones that are skinnier. These are the biggest, skinnier ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to overlap these. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut this one about in half. I'm just going to eyeball it. Cut it about right there. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere this one down on the left side. Just wanted to change up the proportions of this a little bit. So this is going over here on the left side. Now this one, I'm going to stamp on this. I'm going to use one of the sentiments from the Dainty Delight stamp set. And I'm going to use the one that says, "Thank you for your kindness." Try to get this inked up good. And I'm going to stamp this in Mossy Meadow. I'm going to kind of do it over here on the lower right. There we go. It's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it. All right. And then I'm going to adhere this one right next to the other half that I put on there. So this is going to come right in here. My work table is a mess tonight. It's going to go right there. And then now we can go ahead and adhere this. I'm going to take this piece, put some more adhesive on it now. And this is going to come in and cover up that seam. So we're just going to put this right in here. So it kind of looks like there's a big white piece going all the way across underneath, but actually it was two pieces. It's a little trick piece. Oh, this is driving me nuts. I have this little tiny bit that I accidentally snipped. There we go. So there's that. Now let's put this together on a card. The card base for these is 8.5 by 7, and then I scored it at 3.5. And you like that tip? I'm glad. So I scored this at 3.5. This is going to fold in half. Now these do fit in the Stampin' Up! Slimline envelopes. That's how I decided the size. There we go. And then this is going to go just on the front here. I'm going to add a couple little embellishments to this too. And I'll show you my original sample. You can tell me which of the background papers you liked better. They're both from the same Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper set. But I think it gives it a little bit different look. There's that. And then let me go ahead. If I get out my, I don't know if I got out my embellishments. They're sitting here someplace. It is such chaos on my desk right now. I hope I didn't. I think I might have. Nope, there they are. All right, so I am using the Rustic Metallic Adhesive Backed Dots. These are in two sizes on here. I'm just going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and pick those up. I use the putty end for this. So let's go ahead and put one right there. So you just take it. Let me see if I get this in the camera. And you just put the putty end on it, and then you kind of want to slide it and pick it up. If you try to pick it straight up, it will not stick. You go like that. Well, that one did, but a lot of times it won't stick. So you give it a little slide, it will. And you like that? Oh, I'm so glad you guys like this. I'm glad you guys stuck with me for this really long, in-depth card tonight. And I got more to show you. So there we go. Isn't that fun? It's kind of a fun slimline card. It really is. You're right, Nicole. And then here's the other one. So you guys tell me, I don't know if you can see the real difference, whether you like the colored flowers in the background. You can see there you go. Colored flowers in the background or the green leaves in the background. I don't know. It's hard to choose. So kind of a different look on those though. So there's one. Let me go ahead and show you the other two cards I have. Oh, there's my other stem. I added more stems. Oh, wow. So this one, I used some of that watercolor background paper, and I stamped the image and colored it with Stampin' Blends. And I colored all the way around the image with some gray granite. So it kind of blends into the background, and punched out an oval with the oval punch and put the sentiment on there. I love slimline cards. The only problem is they're really hard to show you in the camera because they're too big. So that just kind of, and then I used kind of the Fresh Freesia print down at the bottom just to give it a little bit different. So there's another one. And then here is the one where I just used that pattern paper. So I did stamp that pattern on the old olive in the background, but then I just used a big piece of that pattern paper on the front there as basically the focal point, and added one of the stitched shapes dies with the sentiment on it. So easy. So easy to make. This one was super quick and easy. This one took, 5 minutes maybe, compared to this other one that has now taken me like 40 minutes to put together. So anyway, but both of them were fun. They're elegant. Thank you. Emma, you like the leaves? Yeah. Oh, so pretty. All right. So there are my cards for this evening using the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. And of course, you guys, I'm taking off the weekend. All right. I'm taking off Saturday and Sunday because it's a holiday. So we're going to take those days off. But I will be back next week, Monday, with more celebration items. So I'll be back Monday with some more celebration items. I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I don't know. I still have, I was trying to see if I can pull them out. I don't have them right here. They're all kind of spread out, but I still have, let me see. I have the really like outline stamps. I have some flower stamps. I have some barnyard paper. I have a sentiment set. So lots of things to choose from, and you guys are going to see it next week. All right. So I'll see you back here on Monday night at 8 p.m. Y'all have a very happy New Year. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend.